Hi, good morning. Last class we have discussed the definition of subspaces and some examples of subspaces. Also we have proved a necessary and sufficient condition for a subset of a vector space V to be a subspace. Okay, that is, suppose W is a non-empty subset of V, and if for every alpha comma beta belongs to W and C belongs to F, if C alpha plus beta belongs to W, then W is a subspace of V. Okay. Today also we are going to discuss some other examples of subspace of a vector space. Also some theorems related to that. Okay. Now we are going to prove one theorem, and the theorem says that intersection of all subspaces of V is a subspace of V. Okay. Let V be a vector space over the field F, then intersection of any collection of subspace of V is a subspace of V. Okay. So we are considering a collection. Let WA be a collection of subspaces of V. Okay, and we have to prove intersection of this collection is a subspace of V. I am denoting W as intersection of WA. Okay, but given that WA are subspaces of V, therefore clearly 0 belongs to WA. Therefore we get 0 belongs to WA for every A. Okay, so 0 belongs to intersection also. This implies 0 belongs to W. Thus we get W is a non-empty subset of V. So using our theorem 1 to prove W is a subspace, it is enough to prove that for any alpha comma beta belongs to W and C belongs to F, C alpha plus beta belongs to W. Okay, we have to prove that. Okay, so we take two elements, alpha comma beta belongs to W and C belongs to F. But C alpha comma beta belongs to W implies alpha beta comma beta belongs to intersection WA. Okay, so if it is in intersection means it is contains in every WA. This implies alpha comma beta belongs to WA for every A. Okay, but WA is a subspace of V. WA is a subspace of V. C alpha comma beta belongs to WA implies, alpha comma beta belongs to W implies C alpha plus beta belongs to WA implies WA for every WA. Okay. Alpha comma beta belongs to W implies alpha comma beta belongs to WA because W is the intersection. Okay, but WA are subspaces of V, therefore alpha comma beta belongs to WA implies C alpha plus beta belongs to WA. Thus we get C alpha plus beta belongs to WA for every WA. This implies this is also contained in the intersection, C alpha plus beta belongs to W. Okay, thus we get W is a non-empty subset of V, and for every alpha comma beta belongs to W and C belongs to F, C alpha plus beta belongs to W. This implies W is a subspace of V. Thus we get intersection of two subspaces of V is again a intersection again a subspace of V. Okay, now what about the union? Suppose W1 and W2 are subspaces of V. Is W1 union W2 is a subspace of V. Okay, moving to the next problem. Check whether union of two subspaces of V is a subspace of V. We have to check this. The answer is no. Okay, and we have conditions under which union of two subspaces is a subspace. Okay, so to prove it is not a subspace, we need one example. Okay, so consider R3. R3. Okay, if you consider W1 is equal to set of 4 x0 0 such that x belongs to R, then clearly W1 is a subspace of V. Similarly, if you take W2 is equal to set of 4 0 x 0 such that X belongs to R, then clearly this also a subspace of V. What about this space? This is a R3 is a space, okay. This is a straight line passing through origin. This is also a straight line passing through origin, okay. Here X and Y coordinate and Z coordinate 0. Here X coordinate and Z coordinates are 0, okay. So W1, clearly W1 and W2 are subspaces of V. What about W1 union W2? This contains first entry non-zero, all other entries 0. This contains second entry non-zero, all other entries 0. Okay. So this is actually set of 4 x0 0 union set of 4 0 x 0. X belongs to R. So you can write some x1 x2. x1 comma x2 belongs to R. Okay. So the elements in W1 union W2 are of the form first entry non-zero and other entry 0, or first entry 0, second entry non-zero, all other entries 0. Okay. So if you take some 1 0 0 and 0 3 0, clearly these are elements in W1 union W2. These are belongs to W1 union W2. Okay. So what about, suppose this is alpha and this is beta. Now what about alpha plus beta? 1 0 0 plus 0 3 0, and this is equal to 1 3 0. Here both first and second entry are non-zero and third entry 0. But that does not belongs to W1 union W2. If an element belongs to W, then either first one non-zero, all other entries 0, or second entry non-zero, all other entries 0. Okay. So this node belongs to W1 union W2. Okay. Therefore, union of two subspaces of a vector space need not be a subspace. Okay. Now we have a result. Prove that union of two subspaces W1 and W2 of a vector space V is also a subspace if and only if one is contained in the other. Okay, that is W1 union W2 is a subspace if and only if W1 contained in W2 or W2 contained in W1. Okay, so first we assume that W1 contained in W2 or W2 contained in W1. Okay. Suppose W1 contained in W2. Then what about W1 union W2? Then W1 union W1 is contained in W2. Okay. W1 union W2 is equal to W2. Okay. Therefore, W1 union W2 is equal to W2 is a subspace. Similarly, if W2 contained in W1, then W1 union W2 equal to W1 union W2 equal to W1, which is also a subspace of V. Okay. This implies if W1 contained in W2 or W2 contained in W1, then W1 union W2 is a subspace of V. Thus, we have proved if W1 contained in W2 or W2 contained in W1, then W1 union W2 is a subspace of V. Okay. Now, we are going to prove, suppose W1 union W2 is a subspace of V, and we have to prove W1 contained in W2 or W2 contained in W1. Okay. For this, we suppose the contradiction. Suppose W1 is not contained in W2 and W2 not contained in W1, and we have to reach a contradiction. Okay. So, given condition is W1 union W2 is a subspace of V. And we are assuming that W1 is not a subspace of W2 and W2 is not a subspace of W1. Okay. What is the meaning of that? There exists a U belongs to W1 such that U not belongs to W2. W1 is not contained in W2 means there exists a U belongs to W1 and U not belongs to W2. Similarly, there exists a V belongs to W2 such that V not belongs to W1. Okay, but U comma V both belongs to W1 union W2. U belongs to W1, V belongs to W2. So U comma V belongs to W1 union W2. So U plus V also belongs to W1 union W2. Okay. Now what is the meaning of that? U plus V belongs to W1 union W2. This implies either U plus V belongs to W1 or U plus V belongs to W2. Okay. Suppose U plus V belongs to W1. Okay. So U plus V belongs to W1. U belongs to, U also belongs to W1. Okay. U belongs to W1. As W1 is a subspace, okay, U belongs to W1 implies minus U also belongs to W1. So U plus V plus minus U, or you can write here minus U plus, this also belongs to W1. Okay, but this is 0 plus V belongs to W1. This implies V belongs to W1. But V not belongs to W1. Therefore, this is a contradiction. Okay, so we suppose that U plus V belongs to W2. But V belongs to W2. Therefore, minus V also belongs to W2. Therefore, U plus V plus minus V belongs to W2. That is U plus V plus minus V belongs to W2. U plus 0 belongs to W2. That is U belongs to W2. But we are assuming U not belongs to W2. Okay, because we assume that this condition, that implies U not belongs to W2, but we get U belongs to W2. Therefore, this is again a contradiction. Therefore, if we assume W1 is not contained in W2 and W2 both not contained in W, we get a contradiction. Okay, therefore, either W1 contained in W2 or W2 contained in W1. Okay, we have to prove one lemma. For this, we need one result, and the result is, let A equal to Aij and B equal to Bij be two matrices. Then AB matrix you can denote it as ABIJ. Then the ijth entry of AB is sigma k equal to 1 to n Aik Bkj. Okay, Aik Bkj. This is our result. Okay, so just do one example. Let A equal to this one, B equal to this one. This is a 3 by 3 matrix. This is a 3 by 3 matrix and this is a 3 by 2 matrix. Okay. Therefore, final answer, what about AB? AB is also a 3 by 2 matrix. So, AB is this one. This is our AB. Okay. Now, if you multiply A and B, what about A and B? First row and first column. This one. Okay, first row and second column, this one. Second row and first column, this one. Second row and second column, this one. Third row and first column, this one. Third row and second column, this one. Okay, so what about this value? So A11 is this one. What about this value? Here A11, B11. Next one A12, B21. Okay, this in suffix is changing. Okay, this is A13, B3. So this you can write sigma k varies from 1 to 3 A 1k B k1. Okay, now what about AB21? A12 B12 plus A12 B21. This is B22 plus A13 B32, and this you can write as sigma k varies from 1 to 3 A1k BK2. Okay, what about this one? A21 B11 A22 B21 A plus A23 B31. This is sigma k equal to 1 to 3 A2k BK1. That is the entry AB12. So AB12 means A again some, sorry, this is AB12, this is AB21. So AB21 is A2k BK1. And what about AB22? A21 B21, okay, B12 plus A22 B22 plus A23 B32, and this is equal to sigma k equal to 1 to 3 A2k BK2. Similarly AB33, okay. So in general ABIJ equal to, if this is 1 1, this here 1 fixed, here 1 fixed, k is varying. A12 1 fixed, 2 fixed, k varying. A21 means 2 fixed, 1 fixed, k varying. So in general ABIJ means sigma k equal to 1 to n, A I fixed, k B k j fixed. Okay. Therefore ABIJ you can write as sigma k equal to 1 to n, A I k B k j. Okay. Now the statement of the lemma is, if A and B are m by n matrix over F, if A is an m by n matrix over F and B comma C are n by p matrices over F, then A into dB plus C equal to D into AB plus AC. Okay. For each scalar D in F, we have to prove this one. Now what about B and C? B and C are n by p matrix. D is a scalar in F. Therefore D into B is again an n by p matrix. So dB plus C is again an n by p matrix. Okay. A is an m by n matrix. Therefore if you take product, we get this is a m by p matrix. Okay. So to prove this equal to this one, we have to prove each ith coordinate of both matrices are equal. Okay, that is A into dB plus ijth coordinate D into AB plus C equal to D into AB plus C ij equal to DAB plus AC ij. Okay. Now what is ijth entry of A into dB plus C? So A into dB plus C ijth entry is equal to, what is this one? Similar, sigma k varies from 1 to, here k varies from 1 to n, A, this is AI k dB plus C I j. Okay. So this is equal to, so this is kj, sigma aik, sigma k aik dB plus dB kj plus c kj, and this is equal to sigma k varies from 1 to n aik dB D into B kj plus sigma k varies from 1 to n aik c kj. Okay. And this is same as sigma k varies from 1 to n D aik b kj plus sigma k varies from 1 to n aik c kj, and this is equal to D sigma k varies from 1 to n aik, this is ik b kj plus sigma k varies from 1 to n aik c kj, and this is equal to D, this is ab ij plus this is AC ij, and what this one, this is equal to DAB plus AC ij. Okay, thus we get A into dB plus C ij equal to D into AB plus AC ij. This implies A into dB plus C equal to D into AB plus AC. Okay, thus we get D into AB plus C equal to DAB plus AC. Okay, similarly we can show that dB plus C into A equal to D into BA plus C. Okay, now we are going to give another example of a subspace of a vector space. The solution space of system of homogeneous equation. Now what do you mean by homogeneous equation? The set of equation of the form Ax equal to 0. The solution space of that equation form a subspace of the matrix. That is our next example. Let A be an m by n matrix over F. Then the set of all n by 1 matrices such that Ax equal to 0 is the space of all n by 1 matrices over F. Okay. So here we are considering set of all x such that Ax equal to 0. Okay, and we consider collection of all such x. Okay, and we have to prove that form a subspace. That means here W is set of all x such that Ax equal to 0. And we have to prove W is a subspace of n by n matrices, n by 1 matrices. Okay. Now Ax, what about A? A is a n by n matrix. X is a n by 1 matrix. Therefore, what about Ax? Ax is again a m by 1 matrix. Okay. Now we have to prove this. What about x? X is a n by 1. This form a subspace. Okay. So what about suppose x comma y belongs to W. We have to prove that Cx plus y belongs to W. Okay, that is we have to prove A into Cx plus y is equal to 0. Okay, using the previous result A into Cx plus y, you can write as C into Ax plus Ay. Okay, but Ax is 0, Ay is also 0, therefore 0, C into 0 plus 0 which is equal to 0. Thus we get A into Cx plus y equal to 0. This implies W is a subspace of n by 1 matrices. Okay. Now just to revise what we have discussed today. Today we have proved intersection of two subspaces is again a subspace, and union of two subspaces need not be a subspace of V. Okay, and also we have proved some examples of subspaces of a vector spaces. In the next class we will discuss linear combination of vectors. Okay.